Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to just be sitting here and talking with you guys and telling you about how I got hired at Sephora. I watched so many of these videos preparing for my interview, and they were so helpful. Honestly, I felt so much more prepared because of them, so I'm hoping my video will do the same to anyone who is in the application or interview process for Sephora. So without further ado, let's get on into the video. Okay, so for the application process that I did, I went to jobs.sephora.com and I looked up the Sephora that's around me, and they had 3 positions available: a cashier, a color consultant, and a management position. And I applied to be a cash rep, which is a cashier, because I really don't have real life experience with the cosmetic industry and wanted to be able to start slow and work my way up and learn techniques as I go. So I went online and I filled out the application and I submitted it with my references and resume and cover letter and everything, and I waited 2 days and I hadn't heard, so I dressed professionally, had my makeup all done, and brought 2 copies of my resume and cover letter in profile folders, which are like clear folders that are like for presentations. And I went in store and I asked to speak to the manager, and she came out and she said hi and we shook hands, and I handed her my resume and I just kind of said I applied for a position online. I wanted to bring in a copy of my resume to kind of put the name to the face, and I left. And about 3 hours later she called and set up an interview. So yay! And then she had set up the interview for the following week, and I was so nervous, and I did lots of YouTube videos trying to see what to expect, what the process would be like, and it is different for everyone, obviously, but pretty much what happened is I had an interview at 6:30, and it was with one of the leads and the hiring manager, which is the person in charge of hiring. And I went and I was 10 minutes early, which it's always good to be early because it shows punctuality and excitedness. And I dressed professionally, blazer, full beat glam, like
it's Sephora.
And I went in and I had my interview with them. It was amazing. They make you feel really comfortable. It wasn't where you felt like awkward and you didn't know how to answer or anything. It was very friendly environment. They asked why Sephora, why Sephora over Ulta or MAC or any of the department stores. Like, they really want to know why you want to work there. And the interview went great, and they actually asked me to stay and wait 30 minutes to have another interview with the head manager, and she's like the top dog of the store. So I waited, obviously, and she brought me back and we had like a one-on-one interview, just the 2 of us, and she asked me more questions, again, why I wanted to work at Sephora. She asked me about availability, and she kind of broke down what exactly I would be doing if I was given the position. And again, I had brought copies of my resume, which I had given to each of the people I interviewed with, and we concluded the interview and I felt really good, and I left. And I want to say like 3 days later, 2 or 3 days later, I got a call offering me the position, and oh, I was so excited. I literally screamed on the phone like a little girl. And while we were on the phone, when she offered me the position, she did explain how pay would work, and she asked if the pay that they would be giving is something I'm willing to work with. And obviously I said yes. I was just so excited to have the job. And she talked about when my first 2 days for orientation would be, and we scheduled that. And yeah, and they send you like an official offer email where you officially accept the position. And then I had orientation last week and then yesterday. And for me, they were both 10 hours each, and you kind of sit one-on-one with, at the time, my first orientation was with the education lead, but they are like revising management right now at all the Sephoras. So I'm not sure what the new name would be called for that yet. So with the education lead, and we went through the handbooks and expectations. We went through Sephora values, and they really just explained like why Sephora stands out against others and why we are like the leading prestige beauty store in the industry. How department stores, Ulta, and other cosmetic retail stores have really stepped up their game, and she kind of explained what we do in particular that sets us apart from them and why people end up choosing to come to us over them. And you really learn like so much during orientation, like stuff you never expected to be a part of Sephora. Like Christian Louboutin owns part of Sephora. Like that's so crazy. I never knew that. And we did walkthroughs of the store, explaining all of the different IQs with fragrance, with color, and with skin, and how they all work and how to use them, as well as kind of getting a general idea of the layout of the store, knowing where certain brands are and certain sections are and where we keep the goods and all of that. And yeah, today was my first day at Cash Wrap, and it went so amazing. I love it so much, and literally for anyone considering applying to work at Sephora, I highly recommend it. It's such a good experience. The interview experience alone is incredible, whether or not you get the job. Like obviously if you didn't, it would be disappointing, but you gain so much just from that process. They really break down what they're looking for, why they're looking for it. They asked me like, name your top 3 favorite brands in the store right now, go, and why. They asked me, what are your top 5 favorite must-have products and why. They want to know your knowledge about the products and what you use and what is from Sephora that you use, because when you come into work, like everything on my face right now is from Sephora, because when you come into work, if a client comes up and says, I love your foundation, what are you wearing? If you say CoverGirl, obviously they don't sell that at Sephora. And yeah, so honestly the biggest advice that I can give is be really well informed. Read a few articles if you have to, study your makeup drawers, study your makeup bag, whatever you need to do. I do know that if you are applying directly for color, you do a application test, which is where you are pretty much applying a full face of makeup, which I believe is a smoky eye and winged liner as well, while a manager watches to see if you really know your skills. I haven't done that. I do want to start the process soon of transitioning into color. Obviously, beauty's my passion, and that's kind of the hope of where I'll grow up to, is working with color. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful to anyone watching that is applying for Sephora or is considering it. Just do it. You won't regret it. And that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. My social media is listed down below, so check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!